What's up, horse racing fans? Welcome to another Derby Prep episode on the Inside Post. This weekend at Tampa Bay, we have the Tampa Bay Derby for March 9th. Kicking it off, I believe, in race 11. Looks to be about 5:18, 5:15 Eastern Standard Time. Let's go through the field, see what we got. I believe we have 10 contenders running in this Tampa Bay Derby. Rated as a grade 3 stakes race, but Kentucky Derby points are on the line, and here we are just 2 months away from this big running in the first Saturday in May. So let's dive into the card. All right, on the rail we have number 1 Heartened, currently 4-1. Todd Pletcher, Jose Ortiz, pretty good sneaky pick in here out of Street Boss. 4 career starts, 1, 1, and 2 so far, $54,000 earning. Comes out of the same ownership group that has the winner of the Gotham, so that's kind of interesting there. So obviously has some pedigree, stature that has been bred for the Kentucky Derby. Broke his maiden on his 4th attempt, however, at Tampa last month. Won pretty steadily, 4 links in there. Was an odds-on favorite. So comes in here looking for some Derby points for the connections. Obviously, they're going to try something. In here, career best speed figure is a 94, so that's kind of what you always want to look for Derby horses is, do they have the speed? Looks to be one that's going to press the pace, could set a stalking trip of the pace in here. Kind of don't like it. There's different numbers. One says 4-1, another site says 10-1. As you can see, Equibase has it at 10-1. I believe Horse Racing Nation currently at 4-1. So split the difference. Probably a better priced horse if it is 10-1 with the connection of Pletcher, Jose Ortiz. So kind of an interesting one as we kind of get things started in looking at this field. Number 2, we have Everdo It, 30-1. This horse will probably be a huge price. I think it was over 100 to 1 odds last time out in the Sam F. Davis and finished dead last. So definitely going to come stepping in here against heavier contingents than what was in the Sam Davis. So probably a toss here for Kevin Rice, Antonio Gallardo. 5 starts, only has 1 win. Pretty low speed figure on the career of 82. It's probably going to be a heavy toss for everybody. Did lose the rider in the Sam F. Davis, but still was at a heavy odds here of, I think it ended up being like 125-1 if you go back and look at the race analysis or the race rating for that. So probably going to get that number on Everdo It again. However, it's a 10 field, and if you're a long shot better, this one definitely will be a long shot, but is going to be a toss on our board. Give Me Liberty, currently 15-1, 30-1. In here for Robertino Diodora. This will have Pablo Morales aboard, owned by Ken Ramsey. 3 starts and has 2 seconds under his belt, a case of the second-itis. Looking at an 83 speed figure as the career best for Give Me Liberty. Stalker going to be a pretty good closer, so if it has some speed on the front end to run into, kind of like the pedigree with the Constitution by Scat Daddy, or the Constitution Out of the Dream by Scat Daddy. So interesting to see what we get here. Has made improvements over his last start, obviously. Reason why the connections are kind of pointing him in here. It was second by 3 lengths when he went a mile in the 16th. It was definitely a sloppy track in Arkansas. See if he can set up a little bit closer to the pace and have an opportunity to make a pretty good run late. Was 5th in the Rebel, so really hasn't been a factor anywhere outside of its last 2 starts. Again, the horse is improving, so kind of one to watch. Again, another pretty good price of 30-1, but there's definitely some stiffer competition. Next, we have number 4, Good Money, Chad Brown. With Irad Ortiz, so far 1 for 1, obviously breaking maiden. Last time out, we're getting 15-1, guys. 15-1 on a Chad Brown Irad Ortiz, owned by Calumet Farms. Undefeated, yes, just broke its maiden. Career best 82 speed figure. This is out of Good Magic. Looks to be setting a stalking type pace, looking at the pace setup, or what we could get for the pace setup. Obviously, you have to take consideration based off connections. I mean, Chad Brown has one other horse in here, just so it's out, or inside, outside domestic product. But we're getting Chad Brown and Irad at 15-1 on a horse that's just broke its maiden. You got to take a stab here. Probably our long shot play in here, just because it's Irad, it's Chad Brown. Why not? Good Magic, kind of love the pedigree. Cascading Cash Mare by Distorted Humor. Interesting to see what this one can do. Like I said, speed figure, and it went 7 furlongs, again, was 82. So stretching out could be interesting. Is Chad just putting this one in here for domestic product? Or, barn mates, all that kind of stuff is something to think about. Definitely we'll have to improve on that 82 speed figure. But holy cow, most bettors are going to be licking their chops at 15-1 with Chad Brown and Irad Ortiz. Take a stab. Who knows? Derby preps have been wild. This year, we really don't have a clear-cut favorite. Prices are bound to start exploding, and this one could be the one. Obviously, pedigree, Good Magic, being on the Kentucky Derby trail, and his, obviously, sire in Mage last year. Interesting, because I think the horse is probably going to be better at a mile or better at the distance. So let's take a stab in here with good money and try to win some big money. Again, some books have it at 15, some will have it at 6. This one's probably going to get played heavily from the jockey trainer side. Next, domestic product. If we're looking at a 2-horse race, he is one of them. In here, this one is out of Practical Joke, the other Chad Brown. However, Tyler Gaffleone is aboard here. 4 starts, 4 domestic product, and 1 for 1, earning over 100,000. Probably will be second choice, top choice, depending on how much action No More Time will take. 7th in the Remsen. Looked like wasn't going to stick to the Derby trail. Finished 2nd in the Holy Bull, and currently is, I think, sitting at like 5 points for domestic product. Maybe has more, because I think it should have picked up some in the Remsen. So obviously, Klarovich Stables is owned. 92 speed figure, so one of the top speed figures coming in here out of the field. One that's also going to stalk, so we're looking at a lot of stalking type horses in here, just like number 4, Good Money. So watch these 2 Chad Brown horses when they start to get going in that stalking position. We're going to see, which one is the better Chad Brown horse. Obviously, domestic product having 4 starts over Good Money's 1. Looks to be probably one that's going to be in a little bit better form, but take note of how Good Money runs and see what that horse is going to be able to do moving forward. Whoops. Does come out, domestic product does come out of that Remsen Stakes, beating out by Dornoch and Sierra Leone, who obviously went on to win their next races. However, domestic products finished 5th, 7th. I think it was 7th in that Remsen Stakes. So obviously is way off the form of what Dornoch and Sierra Leone is. If he kind of comes in, runs a big race here, gets himself a lot more Kentucky Derby points, then we can kind of roll him into that under category of underneath of Dornoch and Sierra Leone for the Kentucky Derby. Next up, we got, I believe in the 6th hole, Qatar Vizcaya. Looking to be probably going to be 30-1, heavily priced horse. This thing's going to go through the roof, probably 50-1. Another one that's kind of coming in, 4 starts, only has 1 win, low 76 speed figure. Beautiful gray horse, however. Looking to maybe set the pace, get out early, pressing the pace. So this one's going to play a pace factor of how fast we want to go, setting it up for the closers or the stalkers in here. Looks to be a horse that probably is going to fit better in sprints. It did stretch out to a mile and finished 10th at Delaware, but looked like a monster at Saratoga when it was winning sprints race, 7 furlong sprint race in its maiden. So I think the mile and the 16th is going to be a huge stretch for this horse for Juan Avila. Probably going to be a heavy toss, just because the horse seems to be a one-turn type. Number 7, another buzz horse in here. No More Time, getting a lot of talk. This one is the only Iowa-bred horse in here right now. Maybe the only Iowa-bred horse on the Kentucky Derby Trail. I'll have to look into that. Definitely going to be the one to beat, coming off of its last victory in the Macho Man. Probably going to I think 7-5, 8-5, 6-5 is what we're going to see on this horse. It in domestic product could go 1 and 2 of co-favorites. But obviously more attention is going to get paid to No More Time just because of 2 wins, 4 starts, well seasoned, 94 speed figure. So the horse definitely has more bettability or, favorable betting options for those types of bettors who kind of look at those types of stats. However, if you are trying to beat No More Time, I think it can be done. Like I said, good money, domestic product. 2 Chad Brown horses are very interesting in here. And then one more that we have to get to still. So, has made his first 3 starts at Gulfstream, then kind of went to Tampa to pick up that Macho Man to pick up himself on the Kentucky Derby Trail, goes to the Sam F. Davis, and obviously wins on the front end. So looking like the pace setter in here with Qatar Vizcaya. I think it's going to be interesting. If somebody gets out and try to press his No More Time, we should see those stalkers, closers really set up in here. And to make it definitely interesting coming down the stretch. So if you're betting against No More Time, there's probable calls. Yes, he is a favorite. Obviously, he's a seasoned winner, 4 starts, has the speed, but pace scenarios, pace setups, all of that's definitely interesting, especially when going against 2 Chad Browns and a Todd Pletcher horse. It's definitely a tall task. Next up, we have number 8, Crazy Mason. Gregory Sacco, Mikhail Sanchez will get them out here. Heavily raced horse. We got 7 races already on this 3-year-old. 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a third, so definitely a board hitter in here. However, the speed isn't probable to some of these others. We're looking at an 84 career best. So interesting. Crazy Mason, kind of love the name. Been stationed at Tampa Bay, I believe, for all of his starts. One that could be, a pretty good toss. I think there's other value, especially with Good Morning, and even Give Me Liberty has a little bit better value than Crazy Mason right now. Definitely is going to have to take a step forward. Coming out of the Sam Davis was completely uncompetitive in there. However, blinkers go back on this horse, so something to take note of if you're an equipment type change better. Take note, Crazy Mason will get the blinkers back on. Number 9, we have Grand Mo the First, 10-1 out of Uncle Mo for Victor Barbosa and Sammy Camacho. Another one that has 4 races under his belt and 2 wins and 2 thirds. So big time board hitter in here. Love the speed figure, 91, so comparable to domestic product and No More Time. However, does not have any Derby points under his belt. Another stalker, bigger closer type horse in here. Should definitely have more of a comfortability coming from off the pace and looking to make a run. The horse has kind of bounced around. Started at Gulfstream Park, went to Santa Anita on the turf, comes back to the Gulfstream Park dirt, trying to find itself. Has went 5.5, a mile, 7. So we'll be going 2 turns for the first time on the dirt. So kind of interesting to see if the horse will take to that distance. Obviously, the pedigree's there with Uncle Mo and the mare out of Giants Causeway. So for sure, one that should be able to get the distance in here. Looking to be probably 12-1, I think, is what favorable odds have it set at right now. Another one that, you got to play underneath as a board hitter in here. probably looking, if you're playing a superfecta, 3rd or 4th position for Grandmo the First. Number 10, we have Sturdy. Another good magic horse in here. This one is trained by George Weaver. And the big man on top right now, Junior Alvarado, after coming out of his Saudi Cup win, is coming off of that. Hopefully he can pick up some stuff in here as well. 3 starts so far, a first and 1 second and 2/3, 82 speed figure. So again, off of what we want it to be compared to some of the other horses that are closer to the top. Another stalker, closer type. Junior Alvarado really knows how to maneuver. I feel like those closing stock type horses. So definitely one to watch running down the stretch late. Love the pedigree of Matoli, mare, Holiday Saratoga by Harlan's Holiday. So has some speed underneath, has the sprinting ability. Harlan's Holiday with a little bit of distance in there. So we will see if the horse can get that. Did come out off a pretty big layoff and came into a race. Gulfstream, I think they went 1 mile and 1/8. Yeah, so his last 2 races he's ran 1 mile and 1/8. So definitely has the distance form right now, and I believe picked up a 3rd and a 2nd in those 2 races. Stalk the pace in there, so looking for this one to sit a little bit closer instead of being a big close. And obviously he's going to make a late rally down the stretch. Hopefully Alvarado knows when to push the button to get this one going, so he still has a little bit of real estate left to catch those leaders. Okay, so there's our rundown of the field. I know we really didn't say who was our top pick. I think value play in here, obviously Longshot, is going to be good money with the Chad Brown, Irad Ortiz connection. However, one start coming in to horses that have had 4 starts is always a tough go and tough ask. But if the horse is real, Chad Brown knows what he's doing. He's putting this horse against one of his top 3-year-olds right now with domestic product. So definitely one to take a shot at. If you're trying to beat No More Time, who is looking to be our 2nd pick in here, I think domestic product is a really good horse. Has some speed that it's comparable. I like the fact that it's going to stalk the pace in here, kind of let No More Time go out and Qatar Vizcaya, kind of press it and then kind of make its late run into the turn. So if you're trying to beat No More Time, domestic product is definitely the one to take a stab at it with. And then if you're looking for some other horses for your 3rd or even 4th for superfectas, like I said, Grandmo the First, definitely a good one. Give Me Liberty as a bigger price, but I think you can't go wrong with Sturdy right now, or even the Heartened, the Todd Pletcher horse. I think Sturdy, number 10, probably has a little bit better form and a little bit favorability just because he's been stretched out and has went the distance before. So definitely one that's in great form coming in. And you're getting a pretty good value of 8-1, 10-1 on this horse. So kind of running back through it, domestic product, number 5, going to be our top pick. Number 4, Good Money, our long shot pick. 7, No More Time, our 2nd. And rounding it out, number 10, Sturdy for Junior Alvarado, the Saudi Cup winning jockey. So there's our picks for the Tampa Bay Derby for March 9th at Tampa Bay. 4 Kentucky Derby points on the line for obviously the big run for the Roses in May. We thank you for watching. Hope you like and subscribe. Continue to check out all of our Derby picks, Derby prep videos, and go check out top corner here or there of our Kentucky Derby top 10 contenders of who we think is the number 1 horse right now for the Kentucky Derby. We thank you for watching.